Hi, this guide is meant to be just a overview of how to get into speedrunning Republic Commando, or if you already know the game, then just maybe you can learn a few things along the way. But I'm just going to be going through each level and kind of explaining things that I do as I go along, and um, yeah, trying to explain everything to make sure that everything is well understood. So let's just get started here. First of all, you can't move until this little thing is over. There's nothing you can do to speed this up as far as we know. But once you get started, you just go this way. Uh, so the first level is not really done at all as you're intended to. Um, I'd like to kill a guy because he gets in the way, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be jumping over this barrier. It's really not hard. You just aim for this right pillar here. You can see there's no collision, and you can just mash jump and you'll just go over it very easily. So now that's the kind of first sequence break. Now we're going to be skipping a bunch of the level here, but going out of bounds. Jump on the back of this ammo crate, and then you're going to jump up onto the side rail thing part of it. There's a little bit of a ledge here that you can't move, so I'm stuck. Just kind of jump to get on top of that. Then we're going to be aiming for the ledge where the battle droids are. I like to make a little quick save here just to make sure that if I miss that I can quickly reload. But you want to be aiming for jumping right at the edge of where the slope is here. If you kind of go before that, you might miss. It's kind of precise, but not that precise. You practice it a few times, it's not that difficult. So just aim for up there, and then we're gonna proceed along this little ledge to the left, and then over top of this rubble thing. The collision does not match the geometry. You just kind of jump up and just mash jump to get through this little pile here. And then we're aiming to get over that way by that. There's like the two big pieces of rubble. One of them is smaller than the one. We're aiming for the smaller one. And we can just walk right over that, bypass the bunker that we're supposed to blow up, and go right to the end of the level, skipping most of the first level of the game. So I'm just going to start explaining this here. So for the next level, there's something in the game that we call double loading. That is, you can actually basically do pretty much every action in the game while the level is loading, and one of those includes quick saving and quick loading. So we're actually going to, as the level's loading, we can quick save and quick load, and that will cause some triggers in the level to either happen when they're not supposed to, or to happen not happen at all, or sometimes just skip some things. And there's one specific trigger that will be skipped in this next level that we're interested. So I'm just gonna, as I go through this level end, as soon as the next level starts loading, I'm gonna hit quick save and then quick load, and that'll double load this level. So we're loading it once, and then we're quick save and quick load to load it again. The loading bar goes twice, and we can just continue on pretty much as normal for most of this level. We'll be skipping one little section of it, but for the most part, this level is normal with a few little tricks here and there to save a little bit of time. So just go through here like normal. Try to have Scorch come up behind you. It's kind of best for him to be close to the door, but not too close to the door, so it doesn't take damage when this blows. But if he does, it doesn't really matter. Oop, he's behind me there and almost. Oh, he did. Oof. Actually, I think I might actually be on hard mode right now. Let me quickly check that one. Ah, that's why I died there. Okay. I'm just gonna have a quick save. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, in hard mode you take a lot more damage, so I guess last time I was open the game I was playing in hard mode, so that is all right. Let's just quickly do this again. So what we're doing here is we want him to be close because the slicing terminal in the next room, normally you have to wait for Fixer to finish his animation to start that, but because we double load the level, we can just get Scorch to go there right away, and he's not even here. Okay.
Uploading and linking with your visor, sir.
So because we double loaded the level, Scorch is able to access that terminal right away, but you'll hear there would be a specific point during this opening sequence with Fixer where it'll actually kind of re-disable that terminal for Scorch, and he'll like stop slicing it, and you have to just like double tap the use key to like take him off, take Scorch off, and then put him back on again, and then it works fine. Uh, Kind of unfortunate that he didn't follow me well, but so that little audio cue there where he says delta lead and then continues on, that's right at the same time when Fixer is or when it disables the terminal for Scorch, you have to just take Scorch off and then back on again. I found every once in a while Scorch doesn't follow properly in this level, but usually isn't a big deal. So now we're just gonna go on here, go through this barrier. We don't need them anymore for this level. They're not gonna help, and they might take damage. And um, if they go below yellow damage, so if they're an orange damage level, then they will move more slowly. So we don't really want them. Not that we're really going to be using them much in this section anyways, but you know, we don't need them. So here we're going to be doing something called a bump. That's where you kind of go into the geometry slightly, and it will actually push you up on top of the object that you're kind of clipping into. So in this case, it's on this crate here. All you do is you just kind of aim. Come on. Okay. Just aim sort of this area here, crouch down, and push forward, and you should go on top of it. Ugh. Could be a little finicky sometimes. There we go. So now we're on top, and we can drop down onto this thing here, and then want to cross over to the other side here. And you don't want to jump, you just want to walk off directly, and you should make it every time, and you can jump. And if you just start running, you can jump over that railing. Now there's actually another way you can do this. I found that to be a little bit inconsistent. What we can do is you can jump onto the railing from the slope here, and there's an invisible wall here that if you're high enough on the ramp, you can just jump directly onto, and then from there you can jump across to this side. Now if you do it this way, there's going to be a bunch of battle droids that spawn here. On easy mode, they don't really damage you much, you can just kind of walk past them, but if you're playing on hard, then they can be a problem. So in the next section, we're also going to be jumping on some railings. You might interrupt me. Okay, so we're going to be jumping on top of these crates and then on top of the railings here. You just aim for the corner here, jump up, kind of as you're jumping, you go up and to the right and then crouch. Now we're going to be walking across this railings. It's helpful to hold shift as we're going across here so that you don't accidentally walk off. Holding shift will keep you from walking off the ledge. And then with that, we don't have to do this whole demo sequence on the fighters there. And then instead of walking around here, you can just do kind of a similar thing. We jump up and then turn to the left to skip going all the way, walking around there. So we're going to double load this level again, and we're going to be doing another glitch that is called grapple glitch. And for grapple glitch, all you have to do is when the level's first loading, so we're going to enter the exit of the level. The next level will start loading. We're going to quick save, quick load, and then you're going to just mash the shift key. And what that does, if you're doing one of those intro grapple sequences, or not all of them, it only works for some of them. If you're doing that intro grapple sequence, instead of going down and rappelling down on the line, you'll actually get stuck on the ledge. And then what you can do is, from the ledge, you can then jump on top of the glass that's there. So I'll just do that right now. So just go here, just quick save, quick load, and then mash shift. You'll see, you don't need to hold it down, you just click it once and you'll stop, and then it'll stop that animation from happening. So now we're here, once it just stops loading there, so now we're up here above here. So just to show you, so we're going to be aiming for the top of that glass. Usually I jump on top of like this yellow glass here, and then from there over top this glass. You'll take a little bit less fall damage doing that, and it's usually a little easier to aim for that. So if we go back here, the way that I do it is I usually just hold down the left and forward key while the animation's happening. Then as soon as it's done, you'll start moving, and you just kind of hit the jump key as soon as you notice that you're about to, as soon as you're moving. The platform that you're on here is actually kind of small. You can see the collision ends right around here. So kind of so let's say we're here, level starts loading, you just start moving to the left and you aim to land on top of that, and I of course missed.
That was fun.
So just aim for that yellow thing, and from here you can easily jump across. And this skips the whole intro sequence for Sunfac that you can just completely bypass it. And that's all because of the grapple glitch. The other thing that um, did I ever? No, I didn't. Okay, get some ECs. The other thing that that was just grapple glitch. That doesn't actually do anything on its own because normally you would still need to go through the whole sequence here. Sunfac moving out, he goes up there. You kill him over there, and then you walk up the end of the level. But double loading the level has a nice side effect of just enabling the end level trigger as soon as the level starts, so you can just walk to the end of the level and finish it immediately, which is nice. So for this level, we're basically doing it as normal. There's one little thing we can do. Actually, I'm going to just do it here. I'm going to double load this level, which will enable a demo trigger that you're able to get to a few seconds faster than you normally would. To double load a level that has the kind of menu when it first loads, all you have to do is you hit an arrow key and then the enter to kind of press OK on that menu, and then you can do quick save and quick load. And that will, yeah, that'll help you to double load the level. So I'll just do that here. So left, right, or left enter, or actually I did right enter and then quick save, quick load, and it loads the level twice. Because you're able to do, like I mentioned before, you're able to do any pretty much any action while the level is loading. One of those happens to also be doing menuing, so you can menu click to pick a direction arrow to select that button in the menu, press enter to basically click the start button, even though the level hasn't actually loaded yet. Then as soon as the level is loaded, it'll start, or in this case, it'll kind of enable the quick save, quick load for you to be able to do.
Warriors, Chief's on the mark. Good one.
Let's find out what's on the other side. Abort that breach, Delta.
As I mentioned, we're basically doing this completely normal. There's a few little optimizations you can do here. You can shoot those barrels to kill those guys, and while that guy's hanging, you can shoot him.
I hear machinery below.
You can pick up the flashbangs here. They're kind of nice to have some cases to just help survive some things. I should have those guys formed up to come with me. This guy, you can knife him right when he comes out, and I missed him again. There's usually a guy hanging on this pillar here that you can snipe as soon as you come here. Not this time for some reason.
Looks like we're in some sort of Geonosis.
I guess I should mention, most weapons do more damage when they're zoomed in. So any weapon that can be zoomed, you should essentially always be firing it in the zoomed in mode. Pistol doesn't really matter. So what the double loading level did in this case is all it did is enable the demo charge behind the shield to be activated when you come here. So what you can do is you can just set the rally point right by the demo thing, and then behind the jammer this is all part of the same object here, so you can actually assign somebody to do that. I'm just gonna throw a flashbang here because there's a lot of Geonosis around. So you can set somebody to be on the demo charge. He'll kind of be in a bit of a glitch state where he's trying to do the jammer, but isn't able to. Just gonna do a flashbang here just because I'm there's a lot of guys around right now because I've been going slow. But yeah, so right now Seb is trying to do it, but he can't. But then as soon as we slice that terminal, he'll start immediately. So you don't have to go and after you do the slicing, then go have somebody on the demo charge. That should be good. Just heal up while that's happening. So it's done. Takes a few seconds for the level to actually end here. So you see I'm going to walk here. Let me just go and set somebody on that. See if they can make it there. Probably not. If I go here, it'll take a few seconds for the level to finish. A little unfortunate that the health is down here. You're usually hoping that the health of these guys is up a fair bit, like kind of yellow or green going into this next section, because they can sometimes lose a bit of, they can take a bit of damage here, and yeah, they're good to use as meat shields for this section. So here's a couple of ways that you can do this. So I'll just show the first one. So we're just gonna get these guys on here. First one is doing it pretty close to normal. You want to get that turret early, or else a guy goes in it. See, this is why I didn't want to. Okay, I'm actually just start over here. Okay. So you want them to have health, because if you're doing it the first way, which is the easier way that I'm going to show, then you want them to have health because they're going to be doing the demo points, and you want them to be able to survive doing that with all the elites that are around. The other way, you don't actually need them to do any demo points, but it's still good for them to have health so they can absorb some of the elite damage. So we're going to just jump past this first barricade here. So we're going to jump, we can jump with the little ledge that's here, and then from there onto the crate, and then onto this section here, and then as you're doing that you can get somebody on there, and then continue on yourself. Then you can just wait until that one's done while you're walking along here, and then as soon as that one's done, you can blow it up from all the way over here and do the next one. That's one way of doing it, and then you just keep going through that. That's the normal, pretty close to the normal way of doing this level, the intended route. But there's another way you can do it that's a little more difficult. I forgot to set an quick save. Maybe the auto save will be good. Yeah, okay, here we go. So the other way that we're gonna get these three guys to be on sniping, because we want them to be able to take out the elites as fast as possible. And we're going to skip both barricades in this case. So we can go here, get this guy, blow up that thing for when we, if we can, get another guy on there. So same thing, skip past the first barrier the same way. In this case, we don't really care about that demo charge because we're not going to be dealing with that. So we want to get rid of that turret again. So what we're going to be doing here is a known as a barrel glitch or a barrel jump. And what this is when there is a barrel or any other kind of prop in the game, an object that you can move around by shooting or blowing up or things like that, when they're moving through the air, they have a collision, so you can run into them and that kind of stuff. And if you happen to time it really well, you could also jump off of them. You can stand on them. The issue with that is that generally they're moving very fast. But if you quick save, or if you save the game and then load the game as it's moving through the air, when you load the game again, it'll kind of forget the velocity that it had, and it'll just be frozen in the air. Now, unfortunately, most of the props like this in the game, if not all of them, can't recall any of instances that don't work like this, but they'll explode after a few seconds because usually there's some sort of explosive barrel or something like that. So in this case, we're going to be using the barrel right there. We're going to be throwing two thermal detonators at it to knock it a very specific way, where it's going to fall down, and then we're going to jump across it and then jump over to the left here to bypass this barrier. Before we actually throw any grenades, you have to shoot it with one little bullet here just to kind of pop it up. It's kind of stuck into the terrain. If you throw a grenade at it, it won't properly, it won't get blown by the grenade properly. Then there's a bit of a setup we have for it. Ooh, that's not good. Let's kill him.
Eliminate target.
Okay, so we're just going to use our blaster here, go right over this kind of little dark spot in the terrain. I'm going to make a save. And there's a couple of very specific locations on the texture here
Sonic turret at the end
that
of
you
the
have
bridge.
to match up. You can watch the video. There's also a forum post in speedrun.com that you can look at, I believe. But so you just aim for right here and right there, and now we have to press the pause button at the exact right time. You can stop a little earlier and just kind of press escape and double tap it really quickly to get it to move a little bit. But we want it to be where you can kind of, it's pretty close to the same level that we are, maybe a little bit down because it's kind of far away. But you don't want it to be too low or else you're not going to be able to make it up onto the ledge on the left there. I think that should be about good. It'll take a few tries to practice to see exactly what the height it should be at is, but now if we quick save, quick load the game, you can see the barrels there. We can go and we can jump across. Oh, that was not a good jump. Jump across it. Oh, it might be a little too low. Yeah, I think we're too low. That's too bad. Oop. Okay. Just do. Normally you'd be able to jump over here, but it's a little too low, so I'm just gonna fly over there. Ooh. Okay. Now that trick is, it's a pretty difficult trick to get because if you miss it, generally you use a quick save kind of just before and just after, so you'll lose your spot. You can do a hard save, but then that takes a bit longer. So I don't usually do it, but it's a little more risky. So definitely, if you're starting out, you want to just do a hard save there before throwing the grenade. So if you uh, don't get the barrel doesn't get quite lined up correctly on your quick save, then you can go back to it. But then after that, we're basically finishing the level as normal. Oh, I don't have the sniper. So we're just gonna go through here. You can just directly go to the demo charge here um, without killing the elite, but I find you usually take a bunch of damage and it's a little bit risky, so I just prefer to uh, kill the elite really quickly. It only takes 2-3 seconds at most, and then you don't risk dying. So because we did that bridge skip, the collision for this is a little bit funny. You're kind of actually a little bit higher up than you normally would be. And you can also do a little neat thing where you jump across here. Oh, oops, I messed that up. Jump across here. And jump through there. It's not as hard as that. I may just made it look there. It's actually pretty easy. Kind of a little thing to note about this level here. We're basically going to be skipping the entire level. There's a bit of a out of bounds skip that we can do to just go directly to the end of the level. There's only one trigger to finish the level in this entire. This level has one thing that you need to trigger before the level end is enabled. You can't normally get to the level end right away, but the trigger to get to the level end and the level end thing are right beside each other, and we can skip directly to them. And the way that we do that is through the door right through here. So we're actually going to be going through this window, and the way to do that is first you need to just start slicing the terminal. As soon as you start, it'll open the window. Then you jump up onto the little two pipes here. Just walk forward as far as you can. Turn to the left, put your cursor right kind of in the middle of the window, maybe a little bit to the right, and walk forward. You'll notice that you kind of stand up a little bit part of the way through, or something happens. You can just walk out onto this thing. And we don't want to jump down onto the ground. We actually want to jump into the railing here. If you jump onto the ground, I think you might soft lock or something like that. I don't remember exactly. Maybe you can still do it, but jump onto the railing. So we just want to jump down, aim for the railing. And then we want to slice this terminal here, or plant this charge, while standing on the railing. Again, using the shift key helps to stop you from walking off. So we're going to plant this charge, and this is the one trigger that we need to finish the level.
Get clear.
So blow that up, and then we jump across this gap here,
Move out, squad. Let's get out of
and
here.
this goes directly to the level, and we don't have to do any of the rest of the level. I tried playing this again like casually not that long ago, and
3-8 to advisor. We need to
doing
get
this
out of here
level
fast.
was annoying, and it's a really long level actually, so it's pretty nice. We just skip the entire thing. So this level again, now we are doing gonna be, so on this level the kind of structure of it is there's a bunch of barriers of rocks that are uh, that are blocking our path. We don't need our squad for this level, so we just leave them there. So there's a bunch of rocks that are blocking our path. Normally you would blow up
Any
these
intel on the
rocks.
enemy forces in this area?
Every one of them on this level has a way that you can jump precisely to go over it without having to um, without actually having to do the demo charge to blow up the rocks. I only do two of them. The third one's a little more difficult, and it's a little inconsistent, and I find it's usually just as fast or faster to just do the demo charge. I also haven't practiced this one a ton, so I don't know. It's a little more difficult than the other ones. It doesn't take that much longer to just do the demo charge, so I just do the demo charge and sacrifice the consistency, or sacrifice the speed for a little consistency. So right here, there's a couple of little baby Geonosins up there. You can just throw a grenade just to the left of that rock there, just to kill them. You know, just to make it a little easier for you. So the setup for the first one here, this is the first set of rocks that we're skipping over. So the setup for this one is you're going to be aiming. There's this big rock here, and then there's another rock just to the left of that. We're going to be aiming for right in between the two, and all you do is you just run towards it and then jump when you get close, and you should make it up onto this rock here. So again, holding shift helps, so when you notice that when you get to the top, you stop. So now we're going to be aiming for this one. Again, we're going to be aiming for right on the edge of this rock, and then as soon as you kind of get to the peak of your jump, turn to the right. I find that helps, and you hold forward the whole time. And you jump up. And
Commando, we sure could use your help, sir.
Hang tight, trooper. Delta squad on our way.
Look out behind you.
so there's going to be a Geonosis elite that comes up here. Usually I try to get a shot off on him, but if not, it's not a big deal. We want to get one of these Geonosis elites weapons here. Preferably one that's full of ammo. Also, you don't need to kill this guy, but I just, because I'm doing the demo charge, usually I like to get him.
Give me an explosive solution.
So yeah, this one, I guess there's only 2 rocks to skip here, but for some reason I thought there was 3. But you can actually skip over this one as well. It's a little more tricky.
Stand back, Deltas. Entering passage now.
Okay, actually, maybe I can just show that off really quick here. Ooh,
Deltas, there's
a little far behind.
turret up ahead. This is as close as I can get you to your target. Good luck.
Just go to the end of the level. So this way.
Disabled droid core ship. We need you to infiltrate the core ship and retrieve its launch codes, giving us the edge we need to halt the evacuation of the Separatist fleet. Advance via the canyon and effect entry any way you can.
Any intel on the enemy forces in this area?
The core ship is protected by a large anti-air turret, and initial scans reveal a substantial
Again,
droid
this rock skip is a little more difficult, but you're kind of aiming again for the gap between the 2 rocks.
All right, let's get to it, squad.
I've done this one in a while. Get up onto here.
Don't come back without those
Then
launch
we're
codes.
aiming for kind of right in this area here. There's a little bit of a lip you can see right there that you can stand on. Using shift helps. Let's see if I can do this. First try. Nope. You can kind of, so I got a little caught on it that time. No. There we go. So I got up there. That definitely took longer than 10 seconds, so yeah, I just prefer to blow it.
Ready.
So for this level, also going to want to double this level for basically the only reason that it skips the repel sequence at the beginning there. That's the only thing it does. It saves, I don't know, 5 seconds. So for this level, we're actually going to be doing this one pretty much as intended. We're going to skip over one little section just to just because we can. It's not a big sequence break or anything like that. You're just, instead of walking around this rock, we can just go here. Similar to all the other rock skips, we're going to be aiming right for the gap between these two rocks, and you just kind of run forward and jump. And I'm pretty bad at this one, but it saves more time, so I do go for this one. Just jump up there. It's not that hard.
All right, squad. Let's get in there and start
This can be
breaking.
a little annoying. So for the next level,
This looks like a good spot
probably
to
the
set up a
coolest
grenade
skip of the
position,
game.
Deltas.
Oops. Okay. So we're going to want to double load this level and take out the droids at the beginning here. You can just preempt there with some grenades.
Disabling maneuvers. I knew that.
So bring my squad with. I'm just gonna move clear these droids out so I can explain this a little. So normally you would just run in there, but I just want to move these droids out of the way so I can explain this a little better. So there's still another super battle droid in there. But there's a trigger that happens as soon as you cross this line here. There's a trigger that will trigger some battle droids on a ledge above us to spawn. Okay, good. They don't trigger it. So as soon as we walk across this line, there's a battle droids that spawn up there. So there's two objectives that we have in this level. First, we need to plant a demo charge here. Then we need to plant a demo charge up there. Now, doing those two things opens the door that's kind of right above here, or above there, that allows you to progress towards the end of the level. Now, doing this demo charge and that demo charge are definitely required, but there's a few other things in the level that are normally required, but we can skip past. There's some windows that are open that you have to close with by slicing some terminals, and yeah, that's basically just doing a bunch of that, and we don't want to do that. So, but the thing is, the door that is up here, that has a couple of triggers, and one of them is doing those windows. So what we need to do is, well, double loading the level will allow the end level trigger to be active at the beginning of the level, but it conveniently also like disables the trigger for opening that door. So we need to be able to get past that door without using the normal trigger for it, because normally it's actually so it's the demo charge above here that actually opens the door, but that doesn't work when you double load the level. That was way too long of an explanation, but basically the point of it is the door doesn't actually just normally open. The door gets blown open by an explosion, and then some enemies come out and that kind of stuff. Conveniently, this door, it has its like physics properties enabled at the beginning of the level. It's normal physics properties, so like you can't move it around, your bullets can't move it around, but conveniently the body parts of battle droids can. So those battle droids that are going to be spawning up on the ledge above, what we want to do is we want to kill them and cause their their broken body parts to hit that door that's above there and knock that door over, because that door has some physics that we can take advantage of. Again, way too long of an explanation, definitely not the best explanation for it. But short of it is, if we make a quick save here,
I think we found a loading mechanism.
go in here, you can see there's a door there, throw a sonic detonator up there. See the door just moved. That's good. There's maybe a couple of other droids. So yeah, there's two waves of battle droids that spawn that give you two chances to knock the door down. Unfortunately, this is essentially RNG, so you just kind of have to try it until it works. So let's see. Nope. Okay.
found a loading mechanism here.
Affirmative, Delta. See if you can find a weak spot to plant some charges.
So there you go. You can see it got blown down. It's not all the way down, so let's try again. See if they can knock it all the way down. Nope. A little thing that I found that makes it a little bit more consistent if you line up the two bolts that are here with the kind of darker part of the door. That seems to make it a bit more consistent. Now you see the door, it's knocked partially down, but not all the way, so we gotta just reset again. It's really unfortunate. Usually it takes longer or less time. Usually it's on the second or third try at most um, that it works, but it's just RNG, and sometimes it happens.
Affirmative, Delta. See if you can find a weak spot to plant some charges.
Boss, that looks like a good spot to plant a charge.
Wow, yeah, this is taking way longer than it normally does.
I think we found a loading mechanism here.
Affirmative, Delta. See if you can find a weak spot to plant some charges.
Boss, that looks like a good spot to plant a charge. What's the holdup, boss?
I think we found a loading mechanism here.
Affirmative, Delta. See
Come
if
on.
you can find a weak spot
Work.
to
There
plant
we
some
go. That
charges.
looks like it. Oh, never mind. It didn't
That
work.
looks like a good spot to plant a charge.
Wow. Yeah, this is terrible luck here.
Found a loading mechanism here.
Affirmative, Delta. See if you can find a weak spot to plant some charges.
Boss, that looks like a good spot to plant a charge. This is pointless. Let's get
I think we found a loading
Yeah,
mechanism.
you agree there. It's pointless. Let's get moving.
See if you can find a weak spot to plant some charges.
Boss, that
Maybe
looks
that
like a good
time?
spot to plant a charge.
There we go. That looks like a final worked. And normally while you're doing this, you can also
I'd like
assign somebody in your squad to there to start doing that slicing. Pick up the ECs. Yeah, that was. It's normally way faster than yeah. Normally I get it second, third, fourth try, kind of in that range.
Stand back, Deltas.
But yeah, that was unfortunate. So now, because of that, the doors you can see already open in this level.
Thugs just won't quit.
Secure the blast shield on that.
And we can just skip that whole section of the game, or the level. And we're going to be doing that again for all of the normal places where you would normally have to close the doors. They're already closed, so we don't have to worry about it.
Poor sod. More bugs.
Looks like we've got to shut these
So
windows
here's
too.
the demo charge we got to do.
Behind you, 38.
Now when I blow this up, it's not going to actually blow up all the way, it's going to kind of fizzle. And that's the reason why this door doesn't fall down. Normally it's like, oh, everything's blowing up and the door gets blown up and there's some enemies that are on the other side. That doesn't happen because of the double loading the level. But here we're going to just skip through the rest of the part of here. It's not really anything interesting here. It's just right into the end of the level. Ideally, you don't take too much damage, but it doesn't really matter that much.
Go, go.
Secure that.
You don't need a squad for this level either.
3-8. Now that you've disabled the
For this level, we're just going to be walking to
keep an eye out.
um,
Payload includes a special
the
attachment for your DC-17.
walking through the first part of the level. We don't really need to worry about any enemies here.
Made my day, advisor.
They're not required for anything, so just whatever, walk past them. There is a trick that you can do where you can jump across this canyon, but it's very inconsistent. I definitely don't recommend doing that. It's, as far as we know, it's a pretty close to pixel perfect and also less than frame perfect. So it's not only frame perfect, but you also have to get lucky in which frame. And like the higher your frame rate is, the more likely you are to get that pixel that you need, or the frame that you need. But also the frames are shorter, so it becomes harder. But right here, we're actually going to ignore these guys. We don't need to worry about these guys. We're going to go straight for this turret here. And what this turret does is if you just go into it and go out of it, well, actually, when you're in it, you can see that I'm kind of immune to these shots that they're shooting at me. But the thing is they forgot to program it so when you leave the turret, you lose that invulnerability. So we just are invulnerable to all of the energy attacks in the game now. So we need to pick up the anti-armor.
This should come in handy against all these
Their missile
droids.
shots still work. Now we're going to be doing another rock skip, jumping across here.
Nice,
Just
boss.
jump up into
Very
this little
nice
rock
use
here.
of ordnance here.
Aim again, right for the edge of this rock. Jump forward. Use shift so you don't overshoot or anything like that. We're gonna be jumping over kind of towards this area to get over the rest of the rocks. Oop. Oops. Okay, try again. And we can just get over. Right, I forgot I did something to lose that. Let me just a second here. So normally you'd have the Geonosis elite beam, which makes the spider droids very quick. You notice as part of the cutscene or the audio that's happening right now, it says that the eye is the weak point of the horse spider droid, and it's true. It does 2 times as much damage as everywhere else. But that's actually not the weakest part. The weakest part is this little yellow thing on the back of it. That does 4 or 5 times as much damage. Also, for the Geonosis Elite
Focus on that optical
weapon
cluster,
here,
Delta.
normally it has a long kind of wind up start
There.
thing before
That
you can
looks
actually
like a
start
good spot.
firing. But if you just press R or your reload key to reload while it's doing it, it'll just immediately start firing. So you just go like this, and you can see how fast it killed that, like instantly.
I sure
Like
hope
it
we
was
don't
like a
have to kill
second
them
or
any more
2 at
fellas.
most to kill them. Unfortunately, you don't always have the beam weapon while fighting these.
We've
So
reached the entrance to the core ship.
if
It
in that
appears to
case,
be
you just use
shielded.
your blaster,
Affirmative, Delta. Hold position.
which does the most
We're
damage
breaking
per
into
second
advanced
after
squad now.
the beam weapon.
Delta
So then
Squad,
you just
this
go to
is
this door
Gunship
to
Wing Delta 4-2.
trigger the
We're
trigger,
closing on your position now.
and then you can just
Stand
go and
back
grab
from the
some
entryway.
health and ammo while waiting.
Pilot.
You should be happy I got here at all. It's a nightmare out there. We've got a visual on the target area.
So remember, we're still immune to energy firing or energy weapons, but not to like explosion and melee attacks. So
Take cover.
gunship's coming. If you just hold to the left here, you usually don't take too much damage from the
Glad to be of
explosion.
service, Delta.
But yeah, we can basically ignore everybody now. They don't affect us at all. The
So much for boarding this thing undetected. I thought this was a covert op.
the last part of this level, normally you would have to slice the terminal. There's like a lift that comes across and you get on, and then it goes back. But those are these like rails that go along the side here. We can actually get on top of those by jumping on top of the terminal here. And then you kind of jump out and then turn to the right while you're in the air to get on top of it. Just like that. Jump across, and skip having to wait for the bridge to move and the terminal slicing and all that kind of stuff. And then we just go to the end of the level.
Critical systems will weaken the ship defense components and make achieving your ultimate objective easier. Remember, it is imperative that you retrieve those launch codes. Good luck, Deltas.
All right, sir, in you go. Happy hunting.
All right. So it's not too. As far as I can remember, this level is pretty much as normal. There's a few little things again, like always, that we can do to optimize the the number of enemies that you have to fight and things like that.
Navigate through the racks to the control room and disable its systems. Once you've disabled the droid loader, rendezvous with your squad and make your way to the bridge. We're counting on you, 3-8. Good luck. Advisor out.
Alone against all these droids? They don't stand a chance.
So we can be
These
using an
droids must be on
anti-armor here just to
standby.
take out the one
I'd
battle
better be
droid that's
careful not to wake them up.
awake.
Just about reached my target.
Just need to.
No droids so
It's the
far.
second one from the left here. You just shoot him, and we can go through. It's gonna wake up some other battle droids, but I mean, it doesn't matter. They're not gonna come after us.
07 here. I've infiltrated the repulsor.
So for this section here,
Slicing the
so
system now.
there's a turret that's kind of right up here, and then there's also Geonosis and Elite that's gonna be firing at us. But what you can do is you can shift your hitbox while you're slicing a terminal. So if you start from to the right, crouch, and then click onto it, you can actually avoid all of the damage that you normally take, because the AI of the enemy kind of gets confused and thinks your hurt box is still over here, so they're shooting at you while you're here, but then that's not actually where your hurt box is. So they yeah, they get confused, or the other way around. Maybe they think that you're on the right but your hurt box is actually on the left. I don't remember which, but either way, they get confused where your hurt box actually is and completely miss you. There's a few places where that's useful, like kind of generally just while you're slicing and doing demo charges and that kind of stuff, you crouch and start from the side, and it reduces the damage you take. It's usually not 100% consistent like it is there. That you'll never take any damage there if you do it properly. Other places it's less likely. Like here, I'd started to the right, but because they're firing from the left, they would normally hit me anyways, even if they're firing. If they're confused as to exactly where I am. And now we just go and finish this level just like normal.
All right, squad. Secondary objectives complete. Rendezvous on sub-level 1157.
You got it, boss.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative.
We really did a number on this ship.
Running into a bit of trouble here.
We're under attack, sir.
We've got a droid situation, boss.
Die, you metal.
There's potentially a way that we could use to skip this barricade's demolition charge here. There's a very...
Quite a dent in the ship and they don't like it.
It's been proven that it's possible by kind of doing what we did on the Into the Skies level, where we use the battle droid parts to knock down the barrier.
And then we're off this beast for good.
But there hasn't been any consistent setup found for it. I've never been able to do it. There's a video of it happening, but yeah, nothing consistent. If something is found, it'll save 5-10 seconds maybe. So it's not necessarily the biggest issue to not have that. So you want to be careful, because if you just keep walking, that'll fall on top of you. Which has definitely happened to me before without having a quick save, and I gotta wait for the elevator and intro all over again. So here, we're gonna just shoot this thing to drop on top of them if we can.
Take cover. They're coming back.
And then use some ECs to take out everything else. Most of these you can skip by, this don't have to pay too much attention to it. But if you want to get them off your back, you can do that.
Secondary objectives complete. Ready for orders.
And we don't want to keep our squads safe, but we don't want them to be too close to us. So find a place. I don't know exactly. Often I do pretty bad at this, but you want to keep your squad health decently high because we need them for the next level. But we also want them to be far away from us, because at the end of the level we're going to be leaving them here, and then at the end of the level we want to get onto the elevator. But if our squad is around us, the elevator will wait until all of your squad mates get in it. But if they're far enough away, it doesn't wait, and they'll just go immediately as soon as you get in. So keeping them far away is good. So here there's an elite just up and to the left, so I'm switching to my sniper so I can quickly take him out. Or if you still have some ammo, use your elite beam. Ooh, actually, I didn't want to kill him that fast, because what you can do is you can when he starts his charge up thing, it'll start moving towards you. So if you wait to kill him until he gets closer to you, then you won't have to walk over and pick up his elite beam. Because there's also a dwarf spider droid coming up, and you definitely want to have enough ammo left on the elite beam to be able to take it out. So it's usually a good idea to kill that elite beam and take his weapon. You don't have to kill him. You can do some similar like hurt box shifting stuff with
Another spider droid down ahead.
I'm starting to hate these guys.
with that elite on that terminal too.
That was a lot more intense than the simulation.
Yeah.
Let's find out what's on the other side. Abort that breach, Delta.
So in this section of the level, you just basically want to take out all the enemies, because the lift also won't open until you take out all the enemies. So just use your sonic detonators to kill all the battle droids in this room. And now we go, away we go.
We'll have to get through this door.
It's good. Our squad is all on full health, so
Let's get to it, Deltas.
so they can help us. If they're not on high health, it's not that important. Like, there's not a lot that will damage them in this level, but it's nice, especially if they're on orange and they walk more slowly.
Delta Squad, on sub-level 0001.
Good job, 3-8.
It can be a good idea to save some sonic detonators for this level as well, because the turrets at the end
Just about had
are the easiest way of taking them out is with sonics. If not, it's not hard to take them with a sniper or just blaster or something like that. But having sonic detonators is nice. Just you can do it usually a little bit faster without having to spend any time to shift your aim or anything like that. So here we're just taking out the enemies as fast as we can. Ammo's not that important. Once we get to the bridge, it'll be plentiful.
Let's form up. All-type Deltas, we're almost there.
Try to leave the ship before we destroy
The
it
bridge
next
should be
time.
just through this door.
Alright, so now we're going to take out our sonic detonators. Sniper. So our goal is to take out the turrets as fast as we can. We need to get somebody slicing the terminal right away as well. So usually what I'll do is just as soon as I can, get somebody slicing the terminal, take out all the turrets, because the turrets will kill the person very quickly. There's another way that you can do this as well, where you go and start slicing the terminal, and either do it all yourself. So you like take out the turrets, set people sniping, and then go to the terminal. Um, your squad mates sometimes aren't the best at defending you, and it only saves if your squad is good and keeps right behind you a few seconds. So kind of again for the consistency, and it's just kind of boring to stare at the terminal for a whole minute. I just set one of them while I take out the turrets.
Open, move, move, move.
So I'm gonna set them,
In a hurry.
take out the
Come on,
turret
Delta.
here,
Let's get those codes and get out of here.
take out the turret here, these guys move away, take out that turret here. Unfortunately, these guys were kind of slow coming this time, but usually they're a bit faster.
Let's use this.
And now it's just normal wait until wait for all the enemies to come, wait for the terminal to get sliced. It's really, really easy, honestly. Especially if you have just use the ECs. Yeah, normally they do just totally fine. It's to
This is
do
taking longer than
slice
I'd
the
like.
terminal yourselves and then be able to take everybody out. It's also kind of fun to just beat up on these guys.
Systems failure in 3 minutes.
Another advantage of getting somebody else to do is you can actually wait by the door while they're doing it. So as soon as it's done, this door is going to open and you can go through it away. Or not right away, it doesn't open up immediately, it opens up after a couple seconds. So it's done, door opens, you can leave immediately. It's one advantage of doing it yourself, or not doing it yourself.
We're approaching the core ship now.
And that's the first set of missions. So you can stand here. It says stand back, you don't have to stand back, just wait here.
It's good to see you, 4-2.
All aboard! It'll be good to get back home to the prosecutor.
And that's the first set of missions, the Geonosis missions. Yeah, let me know what you think if you're watching this, and if you have any tips on how maybe you could improve it. Let me know. Thanks for watching.